It's me, AkashaWolf, and today was supposed to be a tarot video, and it kind of still is. I decided I'm going to be calling this Tarot Tuesday, and the reason why I decided not to just straight out do a video on tarot cards right away was because I kind of wanted to get your guys' opinion on what order I should do it in. Do you think I should do the cards randomly, or do you think I should do major arcana, then minor arcana, and like switch out like every week, like one card from each, going in basically order? So yeah, make sure to let me know down in the comments so that way I can set that up. I decided that today was going to be like Tarot Tuesday / Akasha Records. The new, I guess you could say, like series that I'm going to be having where I answer your guys' questions. Like, I'll pick out a question that I think a lot of you will benefit from and, you know, give you the answer on, you know, how I feel about it or my opinion or what I know about the answer, and I think you guys would all benefit from it. So I picked this question because I know a lot of people are going through this issue and really would like to know like what to do when they're in this kind of situation. So I did kind of cut the message a little bit because it was long and she did say other things before that. The Wolfpack member who contacted me is Julian Holmes. I'll have her name right there, but hopefully I said it correctly. Alright, so let's get to it. The reason I wanted to personally talk to you, I'm currently seeing a psychic. The first time and only one I've ever met. And I would just like to know if you could give me any advice on knowing if they are legitimate or not. I'm especially worried because my situation and things that she has told me is a common way psychics try to con people, or so Google has told me. I'm at a point of desperation in my life, and there's nothing I can really do since I've already given her $1,200. But maybe I can prevent myself from giving her any more money if she's conning me. I don't know anyone who has a lot of knowledge or knowledge at all on psychics and those types of subjects. So I completely understand if you won't be able to know for sure if she's trustworthy. But like I said, I'll take any advice you have to offer. I just honestly don't know what to do anymore. Sincerely, a new Wolfpack member. This is a very common question I've been receiving, and it just takes like a kind of long answer in a sense. So, you know, I've voiced my opinion about charging for readings. Charging for readings can be a touchy subject because if you are someone who doesn't read yourself, you don't necessarily know how much work and energy it takes to do readings. Readings take up a lot of energy, and it really does like tucker you out. Like, you get extremely tired after doing so many readings in a day. Not only that, you're opening yourself to other people's energies and even sometimes their emotions, and that could like weigh really heavy on you. So when people charge for readings, they're not necessarily charging for the reading itself, they're more charging for the time. And someone did mention that in my Psychic Twins discussion video, saying, you know, you're not charging for the reading, you're charging for time, which is very true. When you make a career out of psychic readings, you know, you are devoting a lot of time for this. But when you're charging, you have to basically go the amount of time that individual is, you know, paying for. So if you're doing free readings, it's your time. Basically, you do whatever you want. You pick whatever, you know, time you're going to be doing this and how long you're going to be doing it. Some people who receive free readings can abuse it, and I have, you know, had this happen to me before. You know, a lot of people will be on me about doing a reading, and it's like, you know, I work, I got other things to do, I can't just constantly be doing readings online. I do it locally, you know, with people I know, or, you know, individuals who my friends will tell me, like, you know, please do a reading for them, but it's not all the time. And when individuals make it an all the time thing and also try to get things out of it because I'm doing the reading, that really gets to me. But anyways, I'm kind of going off track, but I have accepted donations. Donations is totally fine, but if I did end up making this into a job, of course I would be charging, but I would not be charging dramatic prices like what I'm starting to hear about with this discussion. So $1,200 is already telling me right away that this individual is probably fake. It's possible that she does have abilities. It's possible, you know, we can't rule that out. I never met this individual. I never received a reading from this individual. She could be good at what she does and realizes that you're desperate, and she's feeding off of that and knows that she can toss spells and stuff at you, being like, oh, if you do this spell you'll get this, or you're going through this and this spell will help you. Usually when someone is fake, they will do that. They will try to throw all kinds of spells at you so that they can make some money. And when it comes to spells, you know, again, that's another thing that is time and energy, or, you know, the items that you're actually purchasing for, you know, spells. So at the same time, we're talking about fake psychics and also, you know, fake casters, you know, because when you deal with fake casters, you're gonna be paying in the thousands of dollars, and then it's like, if you're not getting results right away, and they'll be like, oh, well, let me do this for you for a little bit more money and make it happen faster. More than likely they're fake. But, you know, like I said, you never know who's actually psychic, and they're just feeding on your desperation. But then there's also people who just have common sense and realize that the way you're talking to them, not saying that you are doing this, you know, you may have been talking to this individual regular and they just, you know, decided to take advantage of you. I'm not trying to make you feel bad about this, because it happens to a lot of people, and it's not okay because you're getting screwed, but it is okay because you didn't know. You know, you didn't know, and that can't be helped until, I guess, now. Another thing that you need to look for when dealing with psychics is something that I've been through a lot, because I don't do my own readings. I usually go to someone else for readings for myself. Not like I do readings for other individuals, but when it comes to me getting readings done on myself, I don't read for myself because I feel like I'm going to tell myself things that I want to hear, and I just don't want to believe some of the things I do see. So yeah, that's why I go to someone else. I've been to a couple of different psychics and psychic mediums, and something that I always watch out for is questions. When someone asks way too many questions, then they are more than likely fake, because they're trying to feed off of your answers so that, you know, they can continue on with the reading. Now, you might get a few questions, maybe like 3 to 5 questions, depending on how long the reading is, but be very careful which questions you answer, because usually the questions a real psychic will ask is like, does that connect to you? You can say yes or no. They can't really just be like, do you do any kind of entertainment? Are you like unsure about your sexuality? Like stuff like that. That's like, they're kind of digging in for certain things, because you can kind of create a story with some of that stuff if you like really think about it. But usually it's just, they'll ask questions for verification, like, does this, you know, connect to you? You can say yes or no, because if it doesn't, then maybe they're not connecting as well as they had hoped that they would, because sometimes some of us don't make good connections with, you know, some individuals. Some people are totally closed off. And I've experienced this with a psychic before. She was doing a reading for me. I've worked with her before, and she's very good. She would put like extreme details out there that she couldn't possibly know, especially based on like just looking at me. She couldn't know these things. One day, there was a question that my mother was asking that had to be associated with me, but not in necessarily a negative way, but I didn't want to know anything, period. And I could feel myself just close, like just shut off completely. I felt it in myself. And then she looked at me, and then she says, she's blocking me. And people are capable of that. So sometimes with some skeptics, not all, but very, you know, few, they can totally cut themselves off from a connection with a psychic. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. So you just have to really be open to like accepting to have a reading, not just totally be like, okay, you're absolutely fake. You have to just be open-minded, but not also believe anything and everything someone says. Another thing, kissing butt. And I've seen this with some individuals, and it's just ridiculous. There are some people who will just kiss your butt. And what I mean by this is they'll be like, oh my god, you're so intuitive, and you're so this, and you're so that, and you're so this and that, and you're this special being, and stuff like that. And usually a lot of us want to know that kind of thing, and it makes us feel really good. And I'm not trying to say that no one's special. It's just people will use that to like get you to just get drawn right in and totally believe anything they'll say. And they're just trying to make you feel good and listen to what they have to say, because you know they have to know that you're special. They know it, so it's true, and they're psychic, so they have to be like real psychics, right? No, that's not how it works. That's usually like a way for them to, you know, draw you in and totally get you to drop all your guard. So don't fall for that. I've seen it. There was this one psychic I knew at a store that I like to go to, and she would walk around the store and she would listen to the conversations everyone was having, and she would be listening. I knew she was listening, and she came up and was starting to praise this and that about a family member I was with, and then she was telling them that they're so this, they're so that, and all this other stuff, and saying that she's going through this problem and that problem, when she was just talking about that to another individual. So she was walking around listening, and I know she was. So you have to be careful too, like when you go to like a store or location, if you're very comfortable there and you talk to the people who work there, be very careful how loud you're speaking, because some of the psychics, depending on how their room is closed off, are, you know, sometimes open, and they can hear what you're saying, and they might even use that in the reading to, you know, feed off of. One more thing, something that's very common that happens a lot in Vegas, like on the Strip, is someone will come up to you and like grab your hand or whatever, or come up like right next to your ear and be like, "I'm a psychic, come see me," or something like that. Or they'll be like, "Oh, come see me, I have something about your future you need to know." And this to me is a scam, because it happens a lot. It's happened multiple times to one of my friends. It's even happened to me one time. And it was funny when she said that, because I was actually giving a reading to my friend that day. So like, why would she go see this other individual if she's already going to have a reading with me? You know what I mean? Like, she would have gotten it for free from me, and more than likely this individual was just trying to pull them in so that way they can charge them for a reading. I have heard of people who would just be walking down the street and someone comes up to them and starts giving them a reading automatically, and they end up just leaving after that. So I kind of would believe them before I'd believe the person who's like, "Come see me," and then just walks away. Like, they literally do it to where they seem like so mysterious. So if that's happening to you, make sure you let me know down in the comments. Not all free psychic readings are real. I'm not trying to say that if someone charges they're not real. I'm just trying to say, like, just be cautious. On Craigslist they do offer like free readings, but they're only giving you like a free reading for like a couple minutes. Then they want you to like book a reading with them. They try to give you like a mini taste of what information they can provide you, and then they just try to pull you into, you know, more money. Now, some of these psychics are real, but some of them are fake. My boyfriend actually called one of these psychics because he was just really curious, and I was sitting there listening to the conversation, and she was way off. So I know that was all over the place. Like, it's just something I feel very passionate about, and it really bugs me to know that some individuals will gyp people, you know, based out of desperation, and, you know, when they just really want to know something important and they just get gypped, and it's just horrible. So if you guys have any more questions, please let me know down in the comments below. Also, to the pack member who gave me this question, please let me know if I answered your question. I feel like I went all over the place with it. Maybe I'll be more organized, do an organized video that isn't directly your question, but you know what I mean, hopefully. And as for readings from me, I am planning on trying a platform or somewhere where I could have organized setup, where I could be streaming and speaking with you guys and do, like, you know, mini readings and stuff like that. But you could also book a private reading if you want to. I do want to make a thing to where I have this, you know, platform to where I could speak with you guys, do like mini readings and stuff, and if you wanted to, you could do donations. I know not everyone can do that, which is absolutely fine. There's a site that I'm looking at, but I'm not sure. If you guys have any advice on a good place for me to do something like that, please let me know down in the comments below, so that way I can get doing that again. But yeah, I hope that was helpful. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe to be a member of the Wolf Pack. Talk to you guys later. Goodbye and blessed be. So every time after a Tarot Tuesday video, I will be giving like kind of a mini reading for everybody. So here we go.